everybody. Welcome to another edition of our Listen to the Missus podcast, coming to you from the studios of WSGW Radio in Saginaw, Michigan. I'm Art Lewis.
I'm Ann Williams.
And we're here to chat with you about food-related topics, and lifestyle, and recipes, and all that good stuff. And, of course, Ann, we find ourselves in the middle of something that neither you or I ever lived through, and I don't think anybody else has either.
I don't think anybody has.
It's amazing, just absolutely amazing, and we pray for the best, and we pray that it gets over relatively quickly.
Yes.
But in the meantime, we have to face the realities, so we thought we'd spend a little bit of time on this podcast talking about coronavirus, things you can do, and food, and all of that. I want to start with just a couple of basic things about how you can help people in your community while the COVID-19 crisis continues, and continues for really an unknown time. And the first and foremost thing is really to take care of yourself. Basic precautions. You've heard them all. How many times? Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds with warm, soapy water.
Sing happy birthday. That's about how long it takes.
Happy birthday twice, I think it is, isn't it? Yeah. And don't go out if you're sick. Avoid large crowds. Work from home if possible. All the things that they're telling you. And it's for your own protection as well as the protection of others. This next one is important. It is absolutely beyond my comprehension why we're doing it, particularly some of the items. Don't hoard. Mm-hmm. Can somebody please tell me why toilet paper is the realm of the, the coin of the realm all of a sudden? Do you realize toilet paper is one product that is still made in the United States by about 150 companies? 90% or better of all toilet paper is made right here in the U.S. Why are we hoarding it? I don't understand it.
I don't understand either, really.
And it's happened in the past.
Yeah.
But no rhyme or reason for it. Another thing, and this is really important, and it's very important for us too. Don't incite fear and panic. Mm-hmm. Try and be positive. Mm-hmm. Try and be positive. And help those who need it. If you have a neighbor, an elderly neighbor, can't get out, can't get their groceries, can't do things, pay attention to it a little bit, but maintain that 6-foot minimum distance.
You can leave stuff on their doorstep.
Leave stuff on the doorstep and then call them and say it's right there for you.
Yeah.
Donate to organizations who are helping, very important. Support local restaurants. The ones that, they're all closed for dining in, but a lot of them are doing takeout.
Yes.
And it'd be nice if we help support them. I know we try at least once or twice a week to go out and get takeout from one of the restaurants.
Yeah, we've been trying to do that too.
Please, please, please only share news from reputable sources.
Yeah, there's a lot of misinformation.
There's a lot of misinformation. And if you have the ability, donate blood.
Yes.
So there are some of the things you can do during this crisis. Ann?
Well, there's been, the grocery store is one of the only places we can or are supposed to be going now. Those of us who are under, stay-home quarantine advisories. And so there's some anxiety attached to that with people because, you do have to go and be around people. And so you should, observe the social distancing guidelines, don't get too close to anyone. But here's some things people are confused about. When I bring my food home from the grocery store, can you get coronavirus from touching packaging, cardboard, things like that? They do say that the virus can live for certain periods of time on certain different surfaces. But they say that the odds of getting coronavirus from the packaging is highly unlikely. I've seen some videos where people are advising that you set up a table to have a clean side and a dirty side, and you sanitize all the packaging, or you leave the packages outside your house for a certain period of time. They say you really don't need to do all that. What you really need to do is wash your hands before and after your grocery store trip. And if you want to take the extra step of wiping down the packages and things, you can do that, but it probably is really unlikely that you're going to get anything from that. The main thing is not to touch other people, if you've, that's why all the hand washing, because if you happen to come in contact with somebody's hands or something like that, exchanging a credit card or money while you're out, then, that's the reason for all the hand washing. So don't worry about getting your groceries. Go ahead.
And one of the toughest habits to break, don't touch your face.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yes. Because that's where it enters your body. So
Yep.
you got to be really careful about that.
Yep.
But a few ideas for things that you can do with food, or the idea is to not go to the grocery store too much, right? We're supposed to be staying in our homes, not coming into contact. So you don't want to be going to the grocery store every day.
U.S. Department of Homeland Security recommends you have about a 2-week supply of food on hand.
Yes, that's a good idea if you can. So it's a good idea to do things that make food stretch, like cook a big hunk of meat, a chicken, a roast, and use the meat for different meals. You know what I mean? You can stretch that piece of meat use it for a bunch of different meals. You can freeze produce. There are some online guides for how long you can freeze produce, and that way it will last a little bit longer for you. Another idea is powdered milk. Powdered milk is easy to use, lasts forever, can be used in a lot of recipes and things instead of regular milk. So those are just a few ideas on things you can do to make your food last longer.
And just to carry that another step further, Homeland Security was recommending that you actually make a list of what you actually eat, and what your family likes to eat. Don't experiment. This is not a good time to do that. Don't waste food.
Yeah.
Canned and packaged goods are all good options for creating a base for meals, and they won't go bad. That's the big thing about them. Even if you don't end up using them within the next month or so, they're still good.
Right.
Things like cereal, crackers, pasta, canned soup, and rice. They're all neutral items that can come in handy should someone become ill with the virus or any other illness. You'll have things on hand that will actually help rather than not.
Right.
So those are some ideas for you during the crisis. And, again, 2 weeks, that ought to be ample. I've seen people go in the store when I've had to go in, and they got baskets after baskets. Look like they're hunkering down for a year, and I'm going, they're going to waste a lot of that,
I saw some people joking on social media the other day about how they're actually going to the store to have somewhere to go, and that's, because there's no place else to go. So they're going to the store all the time, and they're trying to stop themselves from doing that.
Yeah, and the other thing, if you do go to the stores, it would be nice, it would be kind of you to say thank you to a few people. My wife was in one of the stores the other day, and there was a gentleman walking up the frozen food aisles, and all he was doing was sanitizing door handles after somebody touched him, continuously. He was up and down the aisles, and that was his job for 8 hours a day. He said, that's all I'm doing. I'm in this department, and my job is to sanitize all the handles.
Yes, he
And she
deserves some
said,
thanks.
she said, thank you, I appreciate that. And he says, that means a lot because you don't realize how many people don't appreciate what we're doing. So, you see somebody doing that, you see a person out in the vestibule wiping down a shopping cart with disinfectant.
Yeah.
Just say thank you.
Yes.
They got a tough job.
They do. They're out there, and they have to be out there on the front lines. Many people like that. People at your medical offices or whatever. And lots of folks like that at the gas stations, everywhere that has to be open. So.
Yep. And there's a lot of people trying to help out those that are suffering right now. Guy Fieri, the television chef we all know, is partnering with the National Restaurant Association, their education foundation, to raise money for a restaurant employee relief fund, which will benefit restaurant employees who have lost their jobs because of the effects of the virus.
Yeah, and there's a lot of those people.
Boy, there are a ton of them.
Not only restaurant workers, but
Yep.
retail workers and lots of them. So
Absolutely.
Well, I ran across something on a lighter note. It's related to what we've been talking about, but it's about spam. I'm not a fan of spam, but they say
Hawaii now, on the other hand.
they say because of the coronavirus and the quarantining, spam sales are through the roof. Their sales have been breaking records. They say that while the coronavirus outbreak has been heartbreakingly tough for many businesses, it has had the opposite effect on good old Spam. The canned meat is showing up on a huge number of grocery lists. It was already having a decent year before the pandemic, and the year before that, and the year before that, but 2020 has been the brand's 6th consecutive year of record-breaking sales.
And I imagine
I'm not
this
sure
quarter
why.
will be great.
Yeah. So here's some ideas on things that you can make with Spam if you happen to like it and you think that's a good idea to have stock some in your pantry. You can make, of course, cold Spam sandwiches, but you can also try it for breakfast, like try making a hash out of it. There's something called bacon wrapped Spam bites. You can substitute Spam in any recipe that you would use ham in, too. So,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah,
Why not? And if you go to Hawaii, they have, I don't know how many flavors.
they do.
I don't know, there's a couple of dozen flavors of
They're
this
big
stuff.
Spam fans,
Yeah.
huh?
Well, on a lighter note, too, Starbucks is now offering something off the Starbucks secret menu just in time for Easter, a Cadbury cream egg frappuccino.
That sounds good. I
I
like
know
those.
Cadbury
Those are
cream
very
eggs
sweet,
are,
but they're
yeah.
a cult
Yeah,
favorite.
they're even too sweet for me, and I'm a
Yeah,
candy lover.
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But Starbucks has a frap if you are in the mood.
That sounds pretty
And
good.
our friends at Arby's, if you're feeding a bunch of people, you can get 5 roast beef sandwiches for $10.
That's
It's
a good deal.
5 for 10 deal. So there you go.
Well, I thought I'd let us go over a comfort food type recipes, and so I think we
Yeah,
all need
good.
comfort.
You're
This
right.
Is a nice. This is a nice kind of breakfasty. It's a cinnamon roll casserole that you can make in the crock pot.
Ooh.
All right, this would be good for this weekend. So you're going to take. It's called Betty's Daughter's Crock Pot Cinnamon Roll Casserole. So you're going to take 2 12-ounce tubes of those Grand cinnamon roll biscuits. 2 12-ounce tubes. You want to divide them in quarters, too. When you take the rolls out, cut them in quarters. You're going to take 4 eggs, 1/2 cup of whipping cream, 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. So you're going to spray your crock pot first and place a layer of the cinnamon roll pieces to cover the bottom completely. You want to reserve the icing from the packages. You beat the eggs, the cream, the syrup, and the rest of the ingredients till well blended, and you pour that over the rolls in the crock pot. Then put the rest of the roll pieces that are left on top of that, and then place a packet of that icing over the rolls. Cover and cook for 2.5 hours to 3 hours until the sides are golden and the rolls are set on low, by the way. 2.5 to 3 hours on low. And you drizzle the rest of that icing from the other package on top and serve them warm. Sounds kind of like monkey bread.
It does. Yeah, very
Betty's
good.
Daughter's Crockpot Cinnamon Roll Casserole.
All right. Well, there you have it for this edition of our Listen to the Missus podcast. If you want to get a hold of us, if you have any questions, Ann, how do they do that?
You can reach us through our Facebook page. Just look for Listen to the Missus on Facebook. And we have a page on our website, WSGW.com. Just look for the Listen to the Missus page there. Or you can contact us via email. Ann at WSGW.com is my address.
Art Lewis at WSGW.com is mine. And we'll see you the next time. I'm Art Lewis.
I'm Ann Williams.
Thanks for being with us on this edition of the Listen to the Missus podcast.